Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskava, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the spirit of Edmonton.
Slancha, and good evening, whiskey brothers, whiskey sisters, and whiskey friends, and welcome to episode 59 of the Canadian Whisky Journey's Whiskey Review. I'm Dolph. I am the creator of the Canadian Whisky Journey, the Whiskey Book Club, president of the Alberta Scotch Society, and your host tonight. So we're continuing our Canadian Whisky Journey with a whiskey that I should have reviewed months ago, lots sooner. So this is Wiser's 10-year-old triple barrel. Now, I first tasted this in September when Dr. Don and his Corby team visited us here in Edmonton, where we had our third experimental tasting with our Alberta Scotch Society. But this particular bottle engendered a bit of controversy that night. So one of our outspoken invitees gave Don and his team the gears because they think that the Wisers, they were undervaluing their whiskey. He didn't like it. They didn't like it. So I apologized to Don later because I thought the tone was a little bit too abrupt for me. But we both agreed that the invitee had a point. He did. When we see a 10-year-old Scotch, we accept a certain price range. Now, this bottle is in the $25 to $30 price range, which is at worst $20 less than a 10-year-old Scotch that I would buy on sale. And when this happens, this may send a message that this Canadian 10-year-old does not hold up to a 10-year-old Scotch. Now, the invitee, Don and I, know that this is not the case with this whiskey, but you can see the point. But however, we're all subject to marketing and supply and demand, and what the company determines will make them the highest profit and the most visibility, right? So you either sell more at a lower price or you sell less at a higher price. Far be it from this teacher to tell them how to run their business. What this teacher can tell you, though, is that this whiskey right there is a blend of corn and rye whiskeys, aged 10 years, and a combination of new white oak, once used American bourbon barrels, and seasoned Canadian whiskey barrels. And if memory serves from that night, it's 90% corn and 10% distilled, column distilled rye whiskey. Now, let's start the tasting right away. Let's do it. Let's get into it. Now, the nose is caramel. It's all caramel right up front. Nothing but. So let's keep working at this a little bit. Oh, there's Mr. Schmutz. Thank you very much, sir. Maybe others are. Maybe they are. Maybe a 10-year-old shouldn't be so expensive right now. And I agree, Steve Lee. It is. I've had some just absolutely beautiful 3-year-old whiskeys. I've had some fantastic whiskeys that are a couple months old, actually. I should say that. So this, all right. So caramel, it does turn a little bit into kind of the vanilla zone a little bit with a hint of the rye spice. And when I say rye spice, I think it's cinnamon or clove that comes kind of at the end, like at the tip of the nose. Yeah. I'm going to stick with that. Let's go. Let's just simple it up. Mostly caramel, a little bit of vanilla, and spice. Yeah. So the palate now. Nice mouthfeel. So that's got a nice mouthfeel. It is chill filtered, but it still retains it. And it's probably because of all the corn. Hello, Whiskey Neighbor. Thank you very much. It isn't. There's so many other things that we care about when we drink our whiskeys, right? No, because The other comments that you see, Mr. Whiskey Neighbor, is on Facebook, because we have people on Facebook and YouTube. So the people on Facebook will see those, and people on YouTube will see those. And when I show it to you up here, you see everybody's. Yeah. All right. So let's go here on the palate. Great mouthfeel. I'm sure it's because of the double distilled corn. Now, the first note I get is wax. And I've related this before. It's not a bad thing. They used to have, when I was a kid in Montreal, these little whistles that you could eat. Like you could blow out of these things and then you eat it. And there's a waxy flavor to it. And yeah, kind of like that, but maybe leather-like. So, and I don't know if I have too many baseball players out there, but those of you that have in the past put wax on your glove to kind of soften it up at the beginning of the season, that's what it reminds me of. So we're sticking with that because that's a good flavor, that's a good memory. So we've got leather and we've got the wax, and it turns into something sweet though. No, let's go. Okay. Before the sweet, there's the spike of heat. Once the air mixes with this fully, it shows its age a little bit with a 10-year-old kind of, yeah. The heat's there, but it's fleeting. So leather follows into the heat, it spikes, but then right after the heat, you get the sweetness. Now, I'm not going to say caramel on the sweetness, but confectioner's sugar, possibly. No, I'm not going to say caramel. It's not honey. It's not butterscotch. Yeah, let's stick with that. Let's just stick with the confectioner's sugar a little bit on that. All right, finish time. What do we got on the finish? So I'm going to say a medium short finish. Try it again though. Yeah, I'm going to say medium short. And I'm sticking with what I said before. I'm going to stick with the waxy leather to the heat spicy sweet at the end. It's not overly complex, but it's enjoyable, right? Yeah, that's it. So before I sign off and have my last comments, just hi to all of you out there. Hey, Jemats, how you doing? Stephen, Steve Lee, thank you very much. Mr. Whiskey Neighbor, always a pleasure. And Joe's out there as well. So hi to Joe. Thank you so much. So my last thing's out here. And we got Adam out there as well. How you doing, guys? If you haven't gotten this one yet, you should. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I won't review something that I can't enjoy straight. That's not the way you should always have this. It should probably be a mainstay in your collection that you could have straight on those impromptu moments where you just want something. But also on ice or mixed, there's got lots of flexibility here. And this is great value for its money. So for 25 bucks, get it on sale, get it for 25 bucks, and always have it on your shelf. And this is something that I would have in my decanter, really. Because I do. I put things in my decanters because I got a couple nice ones for Christmas presents and birthday presents in the past. So this is a decanter whiskey for me. And yeah, that's it. Let's go with what we're gonna do next week, because I have a second. Next week we're sticking on the Weisers, and we're sticking with the ones that we tried in our experimental series with the Alberta Scotch study. This is next. So hopefully I'll see all of you guys. Thank you to our present and our future viewers, because that's when most people check this out. And that's it. We're signing off. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining us tonight. See you next Tuesday. Slat chat.